So I was thinking we'd start the stream. Oh, first of all, let's start the stream by saying, "Hey, salutations, kindred spirits! Welcome to another magic soiree." I've titled this one "Magic JAMbalaya." Magic JAMbalaya. Jam. It's a magic jam. JAMbalaya. It's a Cajun term. It's a Cajun food. Rice dish, usually cooked with ham, sausage, shrimp, but we're more interested in the second definition, a mixture of diverse elements. That seems to be what we have around here, a mixture of diverse elements. And hey, again, kindred spirits, welcome to my part of the magic universe. As we are doing a magic jambalaya today, we're doing some unboxings. Look, I have the unboxing box. This is my official unboxing box. I'm just going to get started unboxing it here. I'm navigating some new pathways here. Oh, there's what I'm looking for. This button. We have window and window back thanks to my familiarization with the EOS webcam utility. I'm slowly but surely bringing back the pieces of the puzzle that I used to have on this stream. That's right. We're going to unbox the box that's in the box. Some would consider this a magic gift. Yeah, you could say you got this as a gift from a friend, but I put these things in here pre-show. It's my gift to you. These magical things here. Maybe we can make gift number one a magic trick with the box. I don't know. I struggled with this thing, but some would count the box going into the box as trick number one, but I've always felt Lubador Fiedler's gift is something that's to be interpreted by the audience more than the magician. So my mentor always said it's a good idea to tell your audience what's going to happen. You say, here's what's going to happen, and then you do what's going to happen, and then you make the best of it, maybe get some applause at the end of the show. We're going to do some rope magic. Maybe I'll just get this out of the way because I do intend to teach some rope magic. This is by request of the future of magic, Phoenix McDonald. I've seen him in the chat. Speaking of the chat, I like to say hi to y'all. Who's here? Jake's in the house. What's happening? Gary, always good to see Gary. There's the future of magic. Sam Leslie, what's up? Sticky's here. Greetings, Sticky. Matthew Mosley, the Christian magician. Hello, young man. A lot of these folks are members. I did mention on the members community tab, Alex is here. Hello, Alex. It's going well. And Dylan, good to see you. I saw you pre-show. Andy and Jerry. If I said hi to everybody, that would be the whole stream. Ron's here. What's up, Ron? I like to see you always. All right, we can move on now. We've said the hellos. And as I was saying, members, we're going to get together after the stream. If you want to join me on the Discord, I'll be there after this stream's over. We're going to do a little powwow. I need one more prop for this. We'll use these. Skizzers. Yeah, skizzers. I have to say skizzers because I can't say scissors. So I'm going to teach this trick later on in the stream. There will be a tutorial. If you're a muggle and don't want to learn about magic, well, tune it off and don't watch that part. We'll do some trickery before that. So you've been forewarned. When you do the rope magic, you always need to start by cutting off the ends. So you have a rope with no ends. That's integral to the effect. That way you can make new ends. I'll make a few here. So it looks like it's two ropes. That's a little bit off. Hold on. These actually have to be the same size. Let me start over on this. If they're not the same size, so this is part of the tutorial, but you could consider it bonus knowledge because there's not an actual secret here. So you're going to want the ends as far away from the middle as the middle is from the ends. And the middle is where you cut the rope. It's a little bit off. It has to be the same. So you want to trim up. You have to trim up the, that's not working either. Let's do this instead. I have a third method. We're going to do the Bruce Servan technique. By the way, this is the subliminal applause cue. And this is where you would also hit the like button. If you see something you like, you might consider subscribing if you haven't done that already. And this is basically the method I'll teach later, the Bruce Servan method, where you get the ends as far from the middle, and that's where I'm not going to break it down the geometry. You can see what's happening. Ends, middle, that's where you give it the cut. That's 2 pieces, 4 ends, 1, 2, 3. It's close enough. 4 ends, which we heal. That's right, we're going to heal it with the ancient Cajun voodoo mantra. Here we go. Hoodoo, voodoo, chicken doo-doo. And I know some of my international audience doesn't like that, but it's all in good humor as we restore the rope. Just, what the? Okay, that counts. It's 1 piece. It's time delayed, actually. Just wait for it. It's time delayed. Wait for it. Wait for it. Yeah, there we go. Ha ha. 1 piece. It's the Siegfried. That's the Roy. And that's the trick. Voila. With panache and style at no extra charge. Ooh. All right, that's your opening effect. Yeah, I will be teaching it. Let me address Sticky here. Oh, look what we're about to open. We're going to unbox these sweetnesses. Sticky with this comment. Wow, Doug, you're really teaching all of your gems recently. Shadow coins, flush brush soon, and now this. Is something happening soon? What? Yeah, you'd think something is. Here's what I've decided. I've decided that my knowledge should be here. Most of it is in the members area if it's an advanced secret. You mentioned the shadow coins. I taught David Roth's original method, the one that was published 40 years ago. It's almost ancient history. I hope no one's upset about that, but it is, in my opinion, a novice to intermediate step to an advanced lesson, which is behind a paywall. So I'm not really teaching everything. And when I talk about teaching the rope trick today, I'll tell you what I'm going to teach. I'm going to teach the method that is in the Mark Wilson Complete Course of Magic. I generally consider this the Bible of beginner's magic. And when I teach something on this channel, I feel like this is pretty good source material to guide a beginning student. Along the way, I'll give some advanced touches today, like the knot that falls off. Last time I put this trick on the socials, the people were asking about the finish where the knot falls off. I'm going to talk about that a little bit, and also how a beginner might get into this trick. On my Discord for the members, I've had members ask, I've had people ask me before, and I know some of the people watching Sticky are looking for good stage material to add to their repertoire. So it's a good trick worth considering. I know this because I've done it my whole life. This trick is a killer. All right, let's go on with the unboxings. We could do entertainment. We could do theory talk. Some people want to look at cool magic cards. Some of us are eating bagels. What's up, Phoenix? I was going through Murphy's catalog, and as I often do, oh, look at this. Look at this cat injury. Let me tell the cat story. You see this right here? Here, let's see. I have proof of this story. I'm going through Mark Wilson's course earlier today. Y'all know I got a new cat, right? Cy the cat, Cy, King Cy. He's mad at me because I had to smack him away. So I'm going through this book, and here we are in the rope magic section. I'm holding this page like this, right? Well, look right here at the upper corner of this page. Can you see the hole in it? You see maybe you can't see it too well. There's a cat bite in that hole. Here's the thing about lovely in the corner of the page. Cy the cat loves to chew paper. It's his thing. He eats paper all the time. He attacks it crazily. So I'm here. I'm just doing my homework for this episode today, making sure. By the way, if you want to do your homework too, I'm going to leave this up here. This way, any student that would like a visual reference of what we're going to teach, you can just screenshot that and read all the goodies. That's where it is. I do encourage all students to get this book, but let me finish my story. I'm reading this thing, I'm reading it, and all of a sudden, chomp, he just bites down like he's chewing a piece of meat, and he bit right into my finger, and we were unhappy for at least a good 10 minutes. thankfully, there was just minor bloodletting, and that's my cat story of the day. You're welcome. All right. So yeah, I got these at Murphy's, and they're bicycle. It's a bicycle release. So is it US playing card? I don't know. This should be all the information you need. Go Google that stuff. Here's how I like to open new decks with these tabs. If you don't do it this way, this might help you. When you peel this off, and then you use this sticky part here, use the sticky part to lift up the tab part. So if you know where the sticky tab is, the pull tab. All right, so we're failing step one of the unboxing. Y'all know that's always step one, is how does the pull tab work? And bicycle decks are always questionable. So we're proving that to be the case right now. Can I even feel the pull tab? All right, this is going to be a negative, but this is also a standard US playing card company release. So, hey, what do you expect? Fortunately, we're prepared. I come prepared for you guys. So I'm going to risk life, limb, and another injury as I try to figure out this fancy box opener. I used it earlier to preset the build trick I'm also going to teach. As I do this, I should mention I desperately need new glasses. Can't tell you how bad that needs to happen. So yeah, I'm kind of a sucker to buy a deck every time I order from, oh, hello, new member. Got a couple of yous. What's happening, guys? Brandon, Raphael, thank you for joining the cause. And the cat, 6 Tiki Bar. Sounds like someone I need to know. Hey, y'all, if you want to join us in the Discord, I did post the private invite yesterday. And it might have expired. After the stream, I'll post a fresh one so you guys can get in there if you want to have a little powwow with me. I got till 6 o'clock. I got dinner planned tonight, but that'll give us probably an hour and a half. Guess it depends on how long I ramble here. It's kind of like a Pokemon opening. What do you get? Some advertising? Of course you do. Is that the same on both sides? What the hell? Pardon me. Why would you put the same advertising on both sides? So many opportunities to have originality there. All right, let's not be totally negative. This is why we got these cards, because of these cool backs. We'll look at those more in detail. Let's see what the faces look like. There's a standard Joker. Okay, this Joker is not standard color. It's a unique color design, and we like that. Kind of cool. Yeah, all right, so that's something different. The Ace of Spades. The Ace of Spades. So I would like this more if it didn't say hypnosis on it. Like, we get it. It's hypnosis. You don't have to say that. All right, the faces appear to be standard and normal until we get to these. Here's the face cards. I like it. I've grown to kind of enjoy a court card that pops off the deck a bit as opposed to being in a square box. Jeff wants to know if the Discord jams are archived. No, we just get on there and jam. Open note to members. I announced this in the Discord yesterday. Every Monday night now, I'm making a commitment. I do a magic podcast on Mondays. I'm making a commitment to jump on the Zoom after the podcasts and hang out with the bros. So it'll be more of an adult-centric later night jam. I'm doing this because we do have youngsters that hang out, and I welcome everyone, but I do want to give the adults some adult time, because sometimes adults do adult things. So no, I'm trying to make everyone happy over there. I think we get the idea. And then there's the Ace of Hearts, which of course we all know symbolizes the likes that you'll give this video. And then you get le double blacker, the double blacker. I'm going to try and do a trick with these cards, but first of all, let's examine what I think they're best for. And this would be something like this, right? A nice visual during a ribbon spread. And the same should be equally true for fans. And reverse fan should be a different pattern. I wonder if is it 4 different? Okay, so that's red on the outside, white on the inside. Same. So that's red on the outside, white on the inside. That's red, white, red. This is a standard thumb fan. So 2 different designs, red, white, black, red. So 3. Yeah, those are different patterns. And I can imagine if you add a Pharaoh shuffle in the middle there. Yeah, sit back, relax, and enjoy the AMSR. No, that's kind of cool. Whoa. They handle good, you know, US playing card. All right, now's where I hypnotize everyone now. You will send super chats. I'm kidding. Of course I'm kidding. Let me be very straightforward here. Never expect the super chats. Appreciate everyone. You know what I hope for when I do these videos? All I really hope for is that maybe you'll watch it. I do my best to be interesting. And number 2, if you could just hit the like. And if you haven't subscribed, do that. Thanks. Share it with a friend if you don't mind. Thank you. So I don't think we need to spend all day on these cards. They are what they appear to be. Pretty cool. These are probably reasonably priced too as some of the other cardboard offerings. If there are any questions in the galley about the deck, now's your time to ask them and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. Yeah, pretty right. Can't do. Sure you can. Perhaps you haven't just done enough. Honey, the hypnosis is working. I told you the hypnosis would work. Thank you, Andy. All right, let's do a trick with these right before your eyes. It's a selected card trick, so you're going to have to trust me because you can trust the guy from New Orleans. I'm going to pick one at random here. There we go. Let's see that here. Y'all look at it. I'm not gonna. Well, I already saw it. Too late. I looked in the monitor. How about I do this? Instead of finding the card, instead of it being a pick a card where I find it, I'm just going to make the card disappear. That'd be a better trick. What? Matthew Mosley with the super chat? I was hypnotized by Doug Conn. Thank you, brother. All right, so let me see if I can hypnotize you into thinking the 9 of hearts vanishes. Sticky's coming in April. I'll be out there, bro. Does it look like one of the cards kind of disappeared? Yeah, one of these cards is not like the other. But just the back. Only the back of it vanished. That counts where I come from. And yes, Tigger, we're reviewing the hypnosis deck and doing a card trick. I'm also going to loosely talk about the double lift following this exhibition. Now, some people think I maybe force the 9 of hearts, but it works with any card. It works with any card. Like here, we'll just pick another one. Okay. That's like the 9 upside down, but it's different. So 6 of hearts. I'll make the 6 of hearts disappear. Here we go. Gone. The 6 of hearts has vanished. But only the back. Only the back vanishes. That's the name of that tune. How about that? How about that for a Chicago opener, eh? A little bit of vanishing for our presentation. Makes a good Chicago opener, right? I'm going to openly discuss this, but briefly. I have taught the Chicago opener on a card lesson before, and I know most of my viewers know this trick. Jimmy Ferrister. Hey, Erin, if you're watching, she's actually in the bathtub right now, Jimmy. I say, I'm going to go live on the internet. She says, I'm going to go take a bath. Sometimes she tunes in from the bath, but What's up, Jim? Do I have, this is what started. I was out with Jimmy. Let me see if I have this clip, Mr. Ferrister. I was out with Jimmy Ferrister at the Always Lounge last Sunday. Is this it? Oh, man. The card.
Okay.
Okay. Look, Jimmy. It's the clip. Hold on. So here we are, and we're at the Always Lounge. Jimmy had asked about the double lift, which is exactly one of the reasons we're doing the trick that we are today. Yeah, Tigger, it's a blank red hot mama. That's correct. Well, good call. Good call. So I decided to do ambitious for Jimmy so he can see some doubles. Now, unfortunately, I'm about 3 or 4 beers in here, and I don't drink much lately, so I'm half snookered during this performance, and I snafu some things up. But it's a kind of a charming moment. I guess I should mention the clip opens with a named card. So Laveau here, Laveau, who is the helper in the show, names any card. And the effect starts with a named card, and this happens. You have to sign the card.
Okay.
So I'm just going to bring it to the top to make it easier to sign.
Whoa.
Let's put your name right on there. What's your name?
Laveau.
That's correct. That's the jokes. This was pre-show before
we got
the
one
burlesque.
too many,
But we're just going to ignore that. The point is that it's not on the top, right?
Okay.
We're going to try and get it to go to the top, and I'm going to try and get it to go to the top more than once. So I'm going to put it in the middle repeatedly, turn it over, and it's going to go to the top. That's what happens. What? All right. So, okay, we showed that clip. I had that on my phone, and I was like, I'm not going to show this clip. It's kind of a dud, but there are some moments in that clip that are worth noting. Notably, that I stumble. And at one point, I grabbed one more than I should. I made a mistake. I don't know if you noticed the mistake, but I just kept going like it didn't matter, because it doesn't matter when you make a mistake. And people ask me, what do you do when you make mistakes? And the answer is you just keep going. And the other thing is this, as I'm doing this from the back view, which is how Jimmy filmed it, I showed it to my wife. I said, what do you think about this clip, Aaron? And she says this, you can see your pinky count. And you can. So what you can see in that clips from the back view is a couple of ways that I establish the break as I'm going for a double lift. And I do that a couple of different ways. One of the ways is that I do a pinky count, where I count cards off the tip of my pinky one at a time. And I open the ambitious card with a triple lift. It's a long story, but so I start with a triple, counting 3, and I go right into it from that. That's one way. You can see the pinky count from the back in that clip if you're looking for it. And another way, and the way I'm going to talk about when we talk about the blank Chicago opener, I like to obtain the break for a double as we're spreading the cards naturally and closing the spread. So I think it's important when we talk about double lifts, and that's what we're going to be talking about for a few minutes here. When you do double lifts, the motions that preface it are just as important as the move itself, so that your audience, in the words of Erdnace, does not suspect, let alone detect the moments that come. If you do review the clip that I posted, and I'm not going to go over it in detail, you'll notice I try to cover the slights with a joke. I'll ask your name. I'll make you laugh. I'll do something that causes you to look away almost every single time I do a sleight, because that's the basis of good sleight of hand. Whew, boy, I'm a babbling on today. There'll be yes, there will be. There'll be bonus rounds and Koopy dolls. I thought the same thing, Tim. I showed her the clip and she goes, yeah, you flash your pinky count. And I'm like, my wife's a baller. All right. So look, this is a blank back card. It's one of the cards you get when you choose to shop at conjure.com. You get a variety gaff deck. You get one of these in every gaff deck. Get 2 of these, actually. It's a blank backer. This is one of my presentations for the Chicago opener. You put the blank backer on the bottom, immediately above that, the mate. So you have the 6 of hearts that matches it right above it. That's the secret setup. This could be any odd back card, but for the vanishing presentation, you need the blank backer. So that's the setup on the bottom of the deck. Someone picks a card from the top half, maybe I do some Hindu shuffles or maybe I do some overhand shuffles, but I never shuffle the bottom cards. I leave those there. That's how we fool our audience into thinking there's no setup. They pick the card. Now here's what I do. Wherever they pick the card from, I table the top half. And what that'll do is give me an efficient key card placement. And that's what's happening next. A key card placement. They put their card back on the tabled half, which means it's going back on the original top. Because they pick the card, I table this half, I say put your card back, and then I drop these on top now. So it looks like it's getting buried in the middle, and it's getting buried right below my setup, which means the blank card is on top of the selection now. It's a key card placement. Hocus pocus, chicken bones choke us, whatever magic words you choose to say, you spread through the deck. One card is different. A nice ribbon spreads away to a nice display, hands off. Then pick them up, and here's where we're going to establish our first break for a double lift as we introduce the blank card. So I spread through the deck, spread. I get here, I spread at least one or two past the blank one, and I'm going to get a break at the card beneath it, which is the selection. I do this from here. I say, look, there's one card that's vanished. And now as I square the deck is when I establish that little pinky break. So when I talk about establishing breaks in a natural motion, that's one way I do it. Here's the double lift. I use two double lifts for this, and I advocate these two double lifts in general. Number one is the easiest one in the world. Pick it up by the ends and just show it like this. So you say, yeah, look, one card has vanished. Was that your card, the Jack of Clubs? It vanished. So that's super easy. Pick it up by the ends. This is a natural motion that makes total sense. You're showing your audience the card. You don't need any fancy finger flinging. It works great. It's a wonderful double lift. Pick it up, show it, put it back down, gesture, ask a question, and then put this on the table. Great double lift. Use it if you're not. The one I do more than any other is the Vernon turnover or something close to it. I'll do one of two things, and it depends kind of on the moment, but the Vernon turnover is meant to emulate a push of the top card. And what I'm doing there is pushing two cards over as though they were one. This is the action of the Vernon push-off. It's the thumb and the third finger meeting together, pinching the card, and then opening together as though it's pushing the top card off, but two are coming as one. I pinch those two at the outer right corner, maybe aligning them a little bit between my thumb and first and second fingers. And then I turn this double over, but look, it's out jogged about an inch towards the outer part of the deck, away from the deck. So when I turn the double over, it's out jogged. Immediately, I use my forefinger to pull down on the outer edge. That will pop up the inner end. So I pull from here with the forefinger, and then I push inward, aligning that upper card as I establish the break again. From here, I'm ready to do another Vernon, or sometimes I'll just come in here and flip it over. That's acceptable as well, and it's kind of a feel of the moment for me. So, also, sometimes the cards are not in the best shape. For example, the clip I just showed, those cards had been in beer already. So I might have used a couple different techniques there. Vernon technique, push off, the Vernon push off, turn the card over, out jogged, use the forefinger to pull down to reestablish the break, and then continue with another push off to turn it over, always trying to engage your spectator whenever the secret action happens. Now, if you followed my instructions to this point, your spectator is going to think that's their card. It's actually the setup card, right? It's the force card, which is now on the face of the deck because that's what the key card placement does. It puts the card here. And now we force that card. Use a card force, use whatever one you want. I've always used the Hindu shuffle, which is this script. It's the Hindu shuffle. Spectator says stop. This is a great card force, makes the spectator pick the card. You show them the card on the face of the deck. And that's how you do one of the world's best card tricks. You say, watch, your card will vanish, doesn't vanish, and boom, bada bing, zap. I just looked at the clock. I realized, wow, I'm a half hour into this and I still got a couple more things I want to do. In my mind, I generally think a half hour here is enough, but I don't know. What do you guys think? You can let me know. Anyway, that's the Chicago opener. There's 8 million tutorials for this. I mainly wanted to cover some thoughts on the double lift because Mr. Ferrister had asked. And while I'm talking about Jimmy Ferrister, let me say, hey, man, had a great time with you. It was wonderful meeting your wife. And I look forward to you coming back to New Orleans. We'll have some more fun. I should also note earlier this week, I was out at the same lounge, the Always Lounge, with Warpo, the legendary street performer, pitchman, Warpo, and saw him do a wonderful set in a burlesque show. He's going to join us here at the end of this month on March 29th. I'm going to get him in the studio. We're going to have a powwow with one of my oldest friends in New Orleans and a great character. I can't wait to introduce you all. If you haven't met Warpo, you're in for a treat. That's coming March 29th. I'm also going to mention this next week. Hey, Alexander Osborne's coming back. Alexander Oz, one of my all-time favorite magicians. And you know what I'm gonna do here? Here's what I'm gonna do. If you wanna, you channel regulars know Alexander Osborne. If you don't, I would like you to share screen, Con, share screen. We could do this. Here's where I want you to go introduce yourself to Alexander Osborne. This isn't Alexander. This is Mika Harris. Who is Mika Harris, Mr. Conn? Well, kindred spirits, let's do this. Mika Harris is a magician who recently, yes, I'm subscribed. Of course I am. He recently made the steps to become a professional magician. Starting this year, he's been documenting that process, and he's on what day? I don't know, 74. He's doing a documentation 365 on the YouTube. And today he did a reaction video to Alexander Osborne
in Central Park, New York City. I believe
Mika also does magic, and Mika's a wonderful editor. He's a wonderful editor. This is Alexander, and are you ready, Joe? I think it's a pleasure to watch a show. And you get to react. You get to enjoy the reactions like you're sitting there with a friend enjoying the show. And I think this is a good way to
Alexander can
absorb this moment. You could go to Alexander's channel as well, but what I would like you to do is this. I'm looking at Mika's channel. He's at 919 subscribers. Well, I remembered when I was at 900 and something subscribers, and you're so close to 1,000. It's like, wow, I'm almost monetized. Well, would all of my kindred spirits please go do this man a solid and yourself a solid, because I'm telling you, Mika makes good content, and I'm telling you this, it's only going to get better. He's a talented individual, and he's learning in the best place to learn. Y'all know how I feel about street performing. Look at the devotion he's put into this work. He deserves a little more attention, and I'm hoping that my little arrow pointing his direction today will make a difference in his life. I do know that these lives that I do tend to get about 1,000, 1,500 views, and I'm envisioning a world where 5% of you just do a kindness for someone that's following their life dream. And then maybe one day we're doing the same for you. Hey, Mika, I enjoy what you're doing. I don't know if you even watch these lives or not, but keep plugging, man. And yeah, good things will happen. All right. Can I post a link to, so it's his channel is at Mika Harris. You know, if you go to YouTube and search Mika Harris, after the stream, I will post a link in the description, but I didn't know I was going to do what I just did, so I didn't post a link. I will do that afterwards. So if you're watching post-stream, there'll be one maybe in the comments and the link. Here's Matthew Mosley. I can't wait to talk to you about the Winter Carnival of Magic. I know you just got back, and Gary's already subscribed. A lot will be, because he is a kindred spirit. He hangs out with Jason Maher, the street magician dude. We love Jason, and You will follow Mika Harris. You will thank me later. All right. I promised the cut and restored rope tutorial, but I also wanted to unbox two things. I'm going to do the world's quickest unboxing of two beginners tricks. Let's do that now. My wife's been asking me to unbox this. This is the zigzag card. This is not a mystery of the universe, but when I added these to the offerings at Conn Games, our little store, we have a YouTube store too. You just click on the links there. Here's why I picked this trick. I get parents, individuals who have children or other people in their lives who want to do magic that have no skill and won't have skill. Maybe they're 3 years old. Maybe they're 4 years old. And doing anything beyond taking the prop and going through the motions of what it should be. In this case, we're putting a playing card into a playing card frame. That's step one. You do that. And then step two is you pretend to move the middle. This is a classic effect. Normally, oh, it's working. Right. Prior to today, I'd actually never done this trick. It works right out of the gate. Although I did do this on TikTok last night and managed to get it wrong. I put the piece in backwards. So it was a very abstract effect. Well, look at this illusion though. This middle shouldn't be here. Oops, that was wrong. I was watching the side. I messed up the world's easiest trick. I was watching the mirror. I was watching myself in the screen. Oh, Douglas. Sleight of hand master, Doug Conn. Hard at work. That's the way it's supposed to look. Oh my. I have a penchant for messing up the easiest tricks. I think I was cursed by the Chicken Man back in the day, and he said, "Mr. Conn, you shall not do easy magic." I can't see the chat right now. I'm even scared to look at the chat. And this is also this. This is what happens too, and this will be a lesson of what happens when you do tricks you never practice. Sometimes you gimp them up. So we like to practice, we like to rehearse our magic, and then we like to dress rehearse it. Isn't that right? I've done none of those things. I did take the time to do this trick a couple times today. This trick, the perfect pen, which is a thing of beauty by the genius John Cornelius, was in my working repertoire, my professional working repertoire. I flashed back earlier today on the days where I did strolling magic at the Hotel Intercontinental. For over 2 years, I was the resident magician. And at least once a week, I was strolling tableside for your entertainment pleasure. This device is one of the ways I use to get the money. Because anytime you can get an audience to get cash out of their wallet, well, it's more likely it ends up in yours. I should note that when I would work these events, I never exclusively would do it to get tips and wasn't a focus of mine. But you know, if you're a working pro, this is a consideration. I also know that this trick has been around for a while, right? It's been in the let's say open source. Like a lot of people know the gimmick on this. There's a lot of advantages to using this particular model of the pin through anythings. And it's nice to see some enthusiasm about the zigzag card. You got it, Gary. Phoenix wants one of those too. Your enthusiasm is boundless, young man. So this is like the zigzag card, but it's organic. This is why I think you would recommend this. I should note, first of all, this pen does write. A lot of times if you do this trick and you use a gimmick pen, it doesn't write. So this is a bonus for this version. Just going to try and draw like a little bullseye right on George's forehead there. So if I was doing this for you live, I would say, hey, friend, please draw a little bullseye on George's head. I forgot to do the setup. Gotta do the setup. I want y'all to see the moment that I take the pen and stab it right through the, let's see how that looks. That's one of the advantages there of this model, that you can see torn bill coming through. So when you penetrate the bill, it looks torn. Let's see if it sounds torn. It sounds like you rip it. And then you heal, you restore the bill back to its former glory. And your spectator takes what is their bill and takes it home. You put the cap back on the pen, and everything is as it should be. And that's the unboxing of the perfect pen. Now, I do this, and I do in poor George. Yes, it does write sticky, and it's even funnier with Abraham Lincoln. You do it with the 5, and then you can talk about history. But I digress. I'm going to teach y'all how to do this trick impromptu. How about that? How about that? How about no gimmicks? But if you want one of the most clever gimmicks in the world, consider this. How about we do it with a pencil? And you could even borrow the pencil. All right. So here's tutorial number 1, and then briefly I'm going to talk about the rope trick. If y'all want to learn the rope trick in detail, I'll do it in the Discord. I feel like the rope tutorial is just going to be too much today. Speaking of tricks I never practice, this one for sure, but this is a good version of this trick, I think. So you fold it this much. This emulates a trick that David Copperfield did on television called Misled, a Timothy Wink creation. You got to get it in between. It should look like the pencil is in between the folds. And then it should look like it goes through. I'm watching the magic. I should be watching the method. And then ideally we heal it. I might have exposed it there a little bit. I did, I think. This is the impromptu version that you would carry in your wallet. So in this case, we're not employing the pen, we're employing the bill. This is the Murphy's Magic release of the perfect pen. It's a $40 price point for one of these. So for this trick, what you do is this. You put a slit in the bill secretly before you do it, and you put it right at the insignia of the money or someplace where you know. So there is actually a hole in this bill over here already, but I focus the effect on a different part of the bill. So there's a hole there, and I would take this bill out of my wallet and borrow a pen. And then when I apparently push the pencil inside, what's actually happening from the back view is it's coming out of that hole on this side. You cover that with your thumb here, so now it looks like it's inside the bill. Pinch it here so it stays in situation. Do this to make it appear to jam through. It looks like it's really going through there, right? Pull it through the bottom. And then when you heal it, just make sure they're looking at the very middle. You say you can feel it, and the slit is under my finger here. So that's what they should be looking at, the middle. And that is the free, easy, no, not a miracle of the universe, but you know what we do is we work for those. Sometimes we pay for those, $40 in the case of the perfect pen. And there are some great impromptu versions of this trick. I think Daniel Garcia has one. For Jay Sankey has methods of doing this trick. You know who's got a good one? Lonnie Chevry. He does it with his finger. So he takes his finger and he shoves it through the bill and then rips it. And if I was to recommend a commercial version that's a step up from that, I would go look at what Lonnie Chevry. offers. It might be on realmagicmagazine.com. Well, it costs $1. It's also technically illegal because we have to deface American currency. But now it's art, so we're making an art piece. Thanks for that over-enthusiastic response to that somewhat mundane effect. All right, very quick tutorial on the rope thing, just because I said I would do it. If you have anything else you want to talk about, now's a good time to start asking, because I'm going to wrap this up pretty quick, because I do want to be in the Discord by 5 o'clock. Yes, we love Real Magic, right? It's the super value. I've recommended that site many, many times. realmagicmagazine.com. You know, for the cut and restored rope, I encourage people to start with what you can find at Walmart. So they have cotton clothesline there. It's like $3 for 50 feet. If you've never done the cut and restored rope and you need to do some practicing, this is a good way to get it in. Also, you could consider, maybe, you could consider ribbon. It doesn't have to be rope. The cut and restored ribbon is a time-honored classic. That's an interesting question that I don't know the answer to. Best trick using magic? Lance Burton's act with Vivaldi. I don't use magic. I want to, though. Have I ever hung out with Daryl? You know, I saw Daryl lecture in the early mid-'80s and hung out with him at conventions a couple times through the years. I'd see him lecture again. Not often enough to call him a friend, but yes is the answer. So here's the key to the rope trick. When you cut the rope, and we'll talk more in a minute, when you apparently cut the rope in the middle, it's a ruse. I pretend to take the middle of the rope. I run my fingers down the rope. As I go to place this over in this section, what happens is I pinch right next to the end, but below my pinching fingers. So I say, hey, we're going to cut this rope in the middle, right about here. Now I pinch here, and it's this that I bring upwards. It's going to be concealed in my hand. So I say, we're going to cut the rope here. I pinch here and pull up here. This gets wrapped in the hand, and I present this as the middle of the rope. This is the technique that is taught in the Mark Wilson book. We're going to take the rope in the middle. We're going to give it a cut right here. Now, I'm going to give you a sweet advanced finesse. If you're going to use this, you're going to be careful because you're going to cut yourself. I can tell you this because I cut myself. And if you do the cut and restored rope, you cut yourself. Everyone does it. So if you're going to do this trick, just be prepared for that. So instead of taking it here and then doing the switch like this, as I learned from Shigeo Takagi, and I think also Bruce Servan does it this way, we use the scissors in place of the hand that does this. So the scissors now run along the rope, and the scissors are going to come over here, scoop up an end, and make the switch. Now I'm going to kind of expose it here. I run the scissors down. I come over to this hand, so these fingers kind of dart behind. So I'm pinching. They dart behind. The scissors come up to the middle. These fingers dart behind. So hard to do this slow down. The fingers dart behind. As the scissors come over, these fingers grab the part of the rope closest to you. That will pull it away and allow the scissors to scoop underneath and pull up that short bite. And it's here that you give it the chop immediately. So we run our scissors down. The fingers come in. As the hands come together, these fingers pull the part that's beneath the scissors towards you. And then the scissors do the switch of the ends and immediately cut. And so now same accomplishment. And I clearly laid it out in the book earlier. You could take the screenshot I put earlier and go through the printed tutorial if you don't have it at home. Now, the way Mark Wilson describes it is this. He ties these two ends together around this piece like this. And then in the act of winding the rope around your hand, you secretly steal this knot, which will slide down the end of the rope off your hand, off the rope into your hand. And then maybe you go get a magic wand or a pencil and drop off that knot. That's the traditional finish. Also note, you can just slide it off in front of your audience. So once you're here, you say, look, I'm going to restore the rope. I tie it together. Hocus pocus. There it is. One piece. Let me fix that. Here, you can keep that. That's a good way to do it too. You just slide it right off. You give it to your spectator. The version that you saw me do, I used finesse. Again, I learned from Bruce Servan. And if I were to recommend any study of this on an advanced level, Bruce Servan's professional routine published in Ultra Servan. It's his book or video series, DVDs. That explains the full scoop. And that is this. Instead of tying this rope around this in the middle, we're going to move it to the outside and tie a knot around a small bite. So I make a bite of rope and I tie a knot around it. So it's just a little bite, an overhand knot around it. That means as I slowly pull and that bite goes in, when I'm ready for the knot to pop off, I just give it one final boink. And that's how I finish the cut and restored rope, which for me is 3 phases. If I'm doing it professionally in a show, I'll do some knot manipulation and, a lot of jokes. And this is really a great professional routine. If you're looking for something to add to your stage magic, or, you got a talent show or even just a little parlor presentation, the cut and restored rope or the cut and restored ribbon is attainable. And maybe I plowed through that a little quickly. Maybe this material deserves its own. Here's a great piece of advice. I'll tell you this. Go here. Daryl taught it with great detail and history. There's a wonderful resource for rope magic if there ever was one. Daryl's Expert Rope Magic Made Easy is a 3-volume series. And a large part of this series is him describing how to perform the cut and restored rope, both with scissors and without. There's some wonderful scissor-free rope routines on there. And without Daryl, I'm probably not doing rope magic today. I started with his great white rope routine before it was even video. Before it was video, it was 100 pictures on a poster. That's the way you bought it. You got the rope and you got a poster board with 100 photographs of Daryl doing the rope trick. And then you got a manuscript and you would follow the manuscript. You stick the poster on your board. And that's what we had before the internet. And we liked it. We were super happy when Daryl had the foresight to print all the pictures on one page, because it's so troublesome to have the pictures on the next page when you're reading a magic instructional. Anyway, when I was a kid and I learned it in the snow outside, that's partially true. Phoenix, I'll be there at least, an hour and a half. We'll see you later. Yeah, I said I'll be there around 5 o'clock. And man, we've been here 55 minutes. I say I wrap this up. It's been a good hang, y'all. All except that zigzag card. And we're blaming Aaron for that travesty. Continued thanks for being part of my jam. Welcome, new members. Thank you for joining the stream today. There's another name we could talk about, George Sands. He was the real man, right? He was the man that got the whole ball rolling without his sensational rope routine. Tim, maybe I'll see you there. Gary, maybe I'll see you in the Discord. I'm going to go make a pot of coffee. Take me about 5 minutes. I'll turn that Discord on. It's going to be arrivederci. I'll see you guys next week, 4 p.m. Alexander Osborne's going to be here. You should be here too. Ciao for now, y'all. Au revoir.